Hi everybody. So today we're going to be talking about auditions, and I'll be asking Lily here about her tips, and I will discuss with her as well about how auditioning works and what are some tips to get better at auditioning. So, Lily, what's like some of your experiences when you were starting out as a flutist for auditioning?
For me, one of the things I remember when I think about auditioning is that I was always so impressed about the sound and the technique and the playing in general of people through the door. I don't know why. I don't know if a scientist could explain why, but through the door people sound amazing. You don't hear the little problems in tone, intonation is not as clear. If there's articulation problems, you don't hear them. So people sound so good that you think, oh my God, I'm never going to sound that good.
Right.
But in reality, I remember looking at university auditions for the orchestra, for example, thinking that everyone was better than me, and then looking at the results and I was like, oh, so probably that person didn't sound as good as they did through the door. So I think maybe it's psychological because you're stressed, but you have to be careful not to listen to the other people too much and get stressed for no reason. That's one of the things that when I realized that, I lost a lot of my stress.
Yeah, totally. Oh my goodness.
How about your...
Well, same thing. There's always that thing about the door, right? Even if there's, I remember in my instance, we had a double doors, and so it sounded the person sounded even better, you know what I mean? Like it was like this echo chamber between the doors that made it sound like they had the tone of, you know, a godly flutist or something like that. But yeah, just try not to get into your head too much during the audition day. Just play the way you've been practicing, and I always try to play the stuff I'm supposed to play as often as I can before the audition, in front of people, at home, you know, recording myself. That helps a lot, either with audio. Back then it was mostly audio all the time because not everybody had cameras. Nobody had a, you know, smartphone that could record ourselves, so we just had tape players or little mini recorders to record our sound. So, but both elements are important because sometimes you might be doing an audition in front of people.
I think we made a video about preparing for playing in concert or audition, preparing and for anxiety and those types of things.
Yeah, we'll put the video up there, that's for sure.
So one or two videos are related to that, but also I think it's very important while you're playing to keep your mind on what you're doing, because whenever your mind wanders and goes in different places, even if it's like, oh my God, I'm playing so well today, and then something bad happens because you're not thinking about breathing and playing, or you're thinking, what are these people thinking about me, and then something keeping it on the technique of playing, on what's coming next, on what, and when my mind goes off, I always bring it back to something very technical. It's the easiest way to bring it back, because you can't just say, oh, stop doing that. It doesn't work that way. You have to bring your mind to something else. It's like with a little kid that's going to touch something you don't want him to touch. It doesn't work to say, don't touch this, don't. You show him another object that he will find intriguing, and then he's gone somewhere else. You do that with your mind, with a little kid. Oh, think about that instead, and then you're okay. You lose less time. That's a trick that I use.
Would you say, in addition to just certain types of preparations do help as well for your mindset when you're about to audition?
Well, like you said, recording yourself, plus putting yourself in that situation where you make believe that you're really doing it. It works.
Yeah, mock audition.
You play it for yourself that you'll be listening to your recording.
Yeah, sure.
But you put yourself in a situation where you say, I'm not going to stop no matter what.
Right.
And you
That's
do it.
Mindset.
And then
that's so true.
It just puts you in another mindset than what practicing is. And as I said in that other video, I think there's practicing to learn the repertoire, where you stop and you redo things, and then there's practicing to perform. Those are two different things that have to be practiced separately. They're two things. Because people think, oh, I play better when I'm in my practice studio. They think that because they stopped 10 times during the piece. So of course they get all the passages because they stopped and they redid it. But did they play that well doing it from beginning till the end? I'm not sure about that. Personally, I was not. I thought I was practicing well, but I was not practicing that way. So when I was coming in concert, I was like, oh, why is it that I missed that part? I usually don't miss it. Well, yeah, you did miss it. You didn't notice because you never practiced to play it as if it was a concert or an audition or that type of thing.
Now, I've read a couple comments on the channel. Some people say whether or not to pick, because usually you only have enough time to play almost one piece and then maybe some scales for usual audition. Some people were saying, should I pick a piece that's very, very difficult so it can show that that the person can be more technical and all those things, or should they pick something that's more simpler but can show other aspects, I guess, of playing? Which would you say could work better? Because a lot of people have been asking that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. It's a good question. If it's an audition, I would say there's some showpieces. There's some repertoire that looks difficult, but that is not that difficult. And there's repertoire that sounds very easy, but it's pretty difficult in the end. So I would say if you're auditioning, why not try to shine and maybe talk with your teacher about finding a piece that's a bit shiny, but not too difficult, I guess, because you want to shine.
Yeah, because you want to get the audition for sure. Oh, it's interesting. I see what you mean.
It depends what you want to work on, because there's also the whole point about learning, but it's a tough question because it depends on the judge as well. The judge might be like, oh, I don't like this piece. I once played in a competition. There were 4 judges, and that day I played very well. 3 of the judges gave me amazing grades, and the 4th one said, I don't like the piece, and gave me terrible grades. So he was judging the composition, not me. You never know what the judge's gonna think. You don't control that. So you have to go there and not put all your self-esteem there, because there's a lot that you don't control, and not because you didn't win means you're not good. Another judge could have made you win. It's there's no objectivity. It's very subjective. There's a little bit of objectivity, of course, but at a certain level, it becomes subjective.
What would be one thing that you wish you could tell yourself that was auditioning that first audition that you know now? What you know now, what could you tell them if you can only tell them one thing to improve one aspect of your audition? What would it be?
To improve one aspect of your audition? I guess it would be about the preparation.
Okay.
Like we said, just because in the beginning I didn't know how to really practice this way.
A lot of people are like that too. A lot of people don't know how to. Yeah,
I would say that, and also stay a bit detached from what's going on, the other players, not comparing yourself. It's not the time to compare yourself. It's the time to give the best you can give, not think about the outcome. And then I would also say the outcome doesn't matter that much, because you're in a process where you're learning, and maybe that competition or that audition made you practice a lot and made you a better flutist, a better musician. It motivated you. So in the end, it made you grow. If you win or you don't, it still made you grow.
Yeah,
it made you walk on your path and get further. So I think that's also a way to see those things.
Oh, it's great, yeah.
Of course, everyone wants to prepare well and everyone wants to win. But in a way, I don't want to be like everyone's a winner, but if you stay home and don't try anything, you're never going to lose anything, but you're never going to achieve anything either. You should be proud of yourself for going, preparing, doing your best, and that's how we grow.
Well, that's great, Louis. Well, if anybody else has any questions or more comments about auditioning or have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section below, and we'll do our best to answer them and start the conversation. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks, Amelie.
Thanks, Nicolas.
No problem. And be sure to subscribe as well for more episodes on the Flute channel, and we'll talk to you later.